we start, can I start, kindly visit Namliango College.
We are coming, sir. We are coming.
Share,
Yes.
of course, we started sharing the, spreading the gospel, but visit Namliango College. You will be accorded time to address staff, to address the gentlemen, the boys.
Yes.
This country can change if we relay commitment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother from Namiliango College, one of the greatest schools in East Africa. His message, yes, he wants the money, but more importantly, car. Oh my God. Oh my God, that was really thrilling. Powerful. Colleagues, we commit ourselves to serve. We have been serving the last 20 years. Some of us, we are here to work, real work, to do the donkey work. So we are here to bring you on board so that we build the plane while seated on it. We are not going to wait. So things, when they look shining, do you have friends who say, I will join you when things are better? From today onwards, we are going to build this plane to not be in a perfect condition, but the tires will be put while flying. The engine will be fixed. The chairs will be put until we reach to the final destination. Say amen. So I'm not a preacher, but when the spirit of work, of real, because I love these things with all my spirit. So colleagues, you're welcome. I would like to invite Dr. Tonet Vine to help us again pilot this plane forward so that at the end of the day, the course, at least the second semester, is finished. Dr. Tonet Vine, please, you're welcome. The participants are in good moods. I can see them. They are very appreciative. They are ready to learn, but also to share with us their perspective. We are also learning from you. We are learning from you. It's not just like from one side. When you come here, you're also teaching us. So, Dr. Tonet Vine, you can take on your microphone. You will speak from that side? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, oh, the technical thing. Colleagues, yesterday I was on radio, on Start Radio, Border to Border. It's a national radio. In the evening from 7 to 9, and we are discussing education. I was updating the country and using what I had learned here yesterday. I want to tell you, people called on the radio yesterday, and the management had to call the host, please, we are adding you 1 extra hour. Yesterday, using this content yesterday, I was taking notes also. I used that information. People were calling from Chiboga, Guru, Weya, colleagues. Do you know that this content, what we are learning, can cause a transformation in our own classroom? In our homes, when we have family meetings, some of our uncles are confused. I have, for example, an uncle. He drinks from Monday up to Monday, and he's highly educated. The community has not benefited from him. But do you know what we are going to do, Colin? This content is going to transform our own relatives so that they don't become expensive to us and to our children and children. Someone who thanks from thanking, he becomes useless. Do you have such a kind of relative in your home? So, colleagues, this is not just education, And let me give you something here, is that students who are exposed to this content perform better also academically. Tell your neighbor, we are going to do exactly that. Because these students come on time. They don't give you a headache. They know teamwork, so they can collaborate. They can do group. You know, the new curriculum, we designed it with the National Curriculum Development Center. 5 years. Now, why we were interested in character competence, is that he's the one that guides academic delivery. These subjects, delivering them, you need to prepare the ground for students to be able to sit and cooperate with one another. Because somehow we don't know that coming and asking students, Napoleon Bonaparte, where? The teachers of history, remember them? Biology, where did we end? This guy, you have not prepared the student, you have not written them. Are they machines? Bring them this kind of capitulating, concepts. And these days, they are the ones who make the content. So what content can they make if you have not really first oriented them on this content that prepares them so that they can have the behavior, the mindset, the attitude that can drive really positive and practical learning? You cannot tell a terrorist entrepreneurship. For him, what he knows, assembling the bomb going to that is the entrepreneurship he knows. But here we are talking about students who are being prepared to lead the country, to open businesses, to manufacture. So I thank you, sir. Please take on your mic.
Thank you, Milton. Good morning, everyone. Where's Joshua? Joshua? We need an energizer. Energizer.
Shall we all rise for a second or two? There is a short song that uh-huh. You're welcome. Okay, thanks. Yes, thank you. There is a short one that says, "The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength." So we're not going to sing the joy, but we're going to say la 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 la. Are we together? Are we together? La 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 la. La 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 is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Let's go. La 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 la. La 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 la. So one more time and a deep pour, all right? The joy of the Lord. Let's go. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
La 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 la. Thank you. Thank you, Joshua. Joshua's a good singer, huh? Wow, he's good. I could listen to him all day long. All right. I think you're in the wrong sector, Joshua. You should be out there entertaining people. But I'm so glad you're here with us. Stay here and provide that great talent. So, good morning, everyone. I want to ask you a very important question this morning. How are you guys doing? Fair, good, or great? Whoa, that's a big upgrade from yesterday, right? Remember, yesterday I asked the same question, only Milton and one other person said great, right? But this morning, how are you guys doing? Fair, good, or great? That's more like it. I think yesterday was successful based on this response here this morning. So, transforming education in the global south towards 2050, this is a global campaign, right, that was launched in December. And the purpose of this workshop and the ones in Kenya last week and the one in the Philippines in 2 weeks, and India is starting, and Brazil is starting, and so many countries are coming on board. It is to mobilize ownership. So, in this workshop, we're not here to motivate you. We're not even here to inspire you, actually, although they will be good side effects. The purpose of this workshop is to raise owners, to move this campaign forward, and to transform your educational institutions, to transform the regions here in Uganda, and to transform the educational sector in Uganda, right? And you know, in real estate, how many of you have bought a house or maybe entertained the idea of buying an apartment or a house? Raise hands. Well, in real estate, there are three key things. Do you know does anyone know what they are? What are the three key things in real estate? If you're buying a house or a condominium or an apartment, there are three key things that you have to actually keep in mind. What are they? Location, location, location. Because you get the right location for the long-term investment, it'll pay off when you sell the house later. If you're in a bad location, that asset will not increase as well. In transforming education in the global south, the word transforming, there are three key things: content, content, and content. So this is okay, failed network. Duncan, just give me a second. Duncan, I think I'm off. Yeah, I'm offline. Duncan, offline here. You can let me know when you're back. I'll just keep speaking here. So content, content, content. So many people are these days are using the word transforming education, but you've got to be very good detectives. If it doesn't have the content that we are sharing with you in this workshop, it is not transforming education. It is transactional education, right? They're just using that name because it's popular, which is a very, very common thing. Bear with us a little bit, having a few, we're almost there, technical things going on. And then share screen. Okay, so, oh yeah, the link, yeah, okay. Looks like we've launched here. We just launched Transforming Education in the Global South on the screen here. Okay, guys. Let's move on. So just a quick reminder of the essence of that content and what we're actually trying to do. What we're trying to do is transition from the 300-year-old conventional education system that is, that we are, it's an industrialized model, it's a production line, and we can see the evidence of it here out just outside the hall. Did you see all the students lining up? That's a production line. Where are they going? Going into exams, right? To assess how much they memorized in the past year. And who cares about that? Who really cares about that? Do you think the workforce, does Tesla and these companies care about that anymore? Dr. Matati, how about you? You're a businessman. Do you care about a high school certificate or a college degree? If you're hiring people? I mean, he's laughing, right? Because nobody cares about that anymore. Do you know who cares about that? Us, the educators. It's kind of like the education sector are like ostriches with their head in the sand. The world is changing. There's a new sense of relevancy. Guys, we need to take our heads out of the sand, right? And look at the world around us. Nobody cares about this stuff anymore. What do they care about? Character. Are you going to be a good person? Are you actually good at relationships? Are you trustworthy? Are you going to be honest? Are you going to take a bribe out of expediency for a short-term gain and ruin your credibility and ruin the credibility of the company you work for, right? That some businessman like Dr. Matati had to spend decades building up, and then he hires an employee who takes a bribe, right? And ruins what he built up. You don't want employees like that, right? There's like, no, you'll do everything you can to avoid them. You'll check on their background, right? So this campaign looks like it's impossible, right? But it's not. So that's why you are here. You're being called to take action, right? And to move the needle here in the areas that you're responsible for and to expand that message across Uganda. That's why you're here, okay? And that's why I'm here. I'm here for the same reason, okay? All right? And there is a sense of urgency, folks. When I looked at these kids here this morning, did you see them? I actually took time to look at them. And I was asking a few questions in my mind. How much character have they built up in the past year? Or how much have they just memorized, going to the lowest common denominator of the mental cognitive area? That's all that's going on out there. All this noise out there. When they finish that exam, how is that an indicator that they're a good person? How is that an indicator that they're a person of character, that can be trusted? You should be writing these things down, right? That I'm saying right now. But we love exams in this, all of you, right? Everyone in the room, we love these exams, right? And we are, this sector is, we're almost hoodwinked, right? It's unbelievable. So we need to turn this thing upside down, literally turn it upside down. This is a pyramid that's unstable. It's upside down. It is unstable. It's no longer relevant. And we need to move it to this one over here, the right way up, where most of your time is cultivating character, right? Relationships, physical vitality, and then we can stimulate higher order mental cognitive functioning, okay? So we are in an urgent situation because in this country especially, more than any other country in the global south, Uganda has the highest number of young people per capita in the world, actually, right? So when you're driving into work, do you see all the young people on motorbikes and walking the street and so on? Have you ever asked the question, what kind of people are they? What kind of people are they becoming? And these kids were in our educational institutions, right? At some point or another. What kind of an impact did we have on them? So yesterday, we had a dialogue about the use, right? Either being an asset or a liability. So let me ask you this question. If you observe these kids out there on the streets and so on, and the thought comes to your mind, oh my God, these guys, these kids, these young people really are a potential liability. Who's at fault here? Is it them? Who's at fault? Who caused that? Who is the causal factor behind that? Huh? Sorry? The what? The system in the country? No, it's not the system in the country. You're avoiding the answer. Who is the cause? Who is the cause here? Who's to blame here? What? Sorry? You and me, us, the educators, and the parents, right? It's us. If your children turn out bad, is it their fault or who's primary at fault? You didn't raise them right, right? It's the same with these students. And if you're really like complaining about how bad they are and the crime and the terrorism and all of it, right? We are to blame. However, if all of us actually take immediate action and change the game, and we actually dig in and have team meetings with your faculty on how to nurture these young people, and we're building character continuously. It's a daily thing, by the way. It's not a little course you give a week, a year, right? All right, for the first hour of the new semester. Hey, everyone, make sure you actually develop your character this semester, and there's no more to it. This is a cultural thing in our schools, right, and educational institutions. Then, as they actually grow and become responsible young people, who can take the credit for that? Who can actually take credit for that? Huh? Us. You see, it's two sides of the coin, right? We can take credit. We can actually be proud that we made that impact, right? So I'm sorry to be so blunt, right? The reason I'm being very blunt here is to wake us all up from a deep sleep. We're in a deep sleep for 300 years, folks, and we're still haven't woken up, right, to the reality. We're stuck in this system, right? But we have an opportunity to transform it and to change it, okay? So let's go to the third presentation now, which is the holistic development of educators and students, okay? So yesterday, we talked about one of the dimensions. We spent all day yesterday on the primary dimension, which is the spiritual moral dimension. And this is the domain of conscience, universal principles and values, and character. Now, today, we're going to actually expand into the other three dimensions, right? The emotional relational, the physical, the physiology, the energy and vitality, and the mental cognitive. So, Joshua, where is he? Hold on a minute. Milton? No, we need an energizer. We need energizers every 20 minutes. Okay, guys, energizer.
Shall we all stand? Sorry. Shall we all stand? Shall we all stand? Let me, music. Okay. 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 Can I see you just stand where you are, upright? We were taught to have, okay, have nothing. So we're going to use our bodies to write the word character. We are going where we are.
Are we together? Character. Character, the word character. Do we have it anywhere here? But you have it in the brain, where you are. Just stand properly. Stand properly. Okay. Let's go for the word character. Let's go. Some aren't writing. Who said you say it? So we are writing the word character for the last time. We are going to start at the same time. And that full body movement, right? Okay. Let's go for the C. Let's go for the H. Let's go for the A. Let's go for the C. Let's go for the T. Let's go for the E. Yeah, the way I write depends where I did my primary from. Let's go for the R. Wow, that was nice. One more time. We are writing the word character with the entire body. Let's go, but faster this time. Thank you. Let's go for the C. Uppercase. Let's go uppercase. We're writing the letter C. Let's go. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Okay, you guys got character locked into your central nervous system this morning. This is a great outcome. We can finish the workshop now. I think you got it, right? Okay. So, so in terms of developing all four human dimensions, this is what education should be doing. This is the purpose of education, developing. You can write this down. Like if you don't know what to do, the purpose of education, all we're doing is develop. It can't be simpler than this. All day long, 5 days a week. What? Haven't started yet. Well, maybe in 20 minutes. So Ezra said we need breakfast. We haven't even started, right? So hey, I understand. You must be a bit hungry, right? Do you want to do breakfast now, or you want to wait for maybe could we do 15 minutes? What do you think? One. How hungry are you guys? And you tell me. Maybe we'll go half an hour, maybe? Half an hour, okay. Oh, so half an hour. Let's do half an hour, okay? I'm going with Madame here. I'm going to go with your recommendation, okay? That's a good compromise between 15 minutes and an hour. Okay, 30 minutes. Okay, breakfast, all right? So all we're doing, this is what you've got to do when you go back to your teams. How do we develop the four core dimensions, and primarily the spiritual moral dimension? All of them need growth and development. Right now, for most people, we're stagnant in most of these things. Stagnation, there's no such thing as if you're stagnant, you're actually dying. If you're not growing in these areas, if any human being is not growing in these areas, that area is automatically dying. There's only two states, growth or dying. It's like nature. A tree is growing or it's dying. Is that a true statement or not? Does it ever just stay where it is? No, it's either growing or dying. It's the same with us. We're growing or we're dying. Do you want to be dying or growing? Just mentally, and the other three areas are just dying away on us? how about 2 out of the 4? Do we think we should just aim for that instead? That's 100% increase over what we're doing in the education sector right now. Would that be good? Is that acceptable? How about 3 out of the 4?
No.
How about 4 out of 4?
Yeah.
Yes. And primarily, which one do we put most of the focus on?
Spiritual.
Yeah, the character, conscience, universal principles and values, right? Exactly. By the way, tomorrow we're going to give a brand new presentation on creating great regions and great educational institutions. We're going to actually bring this home. So you don't want to miss that one. Tell the folks who are not here today to be back here tomorrow, because you will get the secret sauce on how to do this in your educational institutions. Today, it's all about us, developing us as leaders, okay? Yesterday and today. Tomorrow, we're going to actually talk about how to create great educational institutions and regions, okay? All right. Okay, so let's talk about managing pain and pleasure impulses. So the ideas we're talking about are really transformative, but many times we are our own worst enemy. There are forces working within us that actually that are constantly blocking us from achieving our aspirations. And this is one force, the pain pleasure impulse, or something called the pain pleasure principle, right? So there are 3 things that shape our personality. First of all, there is our mind. This is you in the middle. This is your mind, right? Then we have deeper within ourselves our conscience. So only human beings have a conscience, right? This is the standard bearer of truth, righteousness, goodness, and love. If a surgeon does an operation on you, they won't find your conscience, right? But we have it nevertheless. That's actually part of the spiritual domain. And we also have impulses, right? Pain, pleasure, impulses. We also have drives too. I'll talk about that next. So what we're trying to do then is we need to be making active measures to align with our conscience. This is not automatic. You have to write this down. Aligning with your conscience is not automatic. It requires personal responsibility and focus and intentionality on a daily basis. And this is worth doing. We need that conscience guiding us, right? So that you're not going to be corrupt, that you're doing the right thing, that you're investing into your students, right? And you're caring about them. Your conscience is constantly guiding you like this. So we need to actively, intentionally align with our conscience every single day. And we need to control our impulses, the pain pleasure impulse, often called the inner child, right? To get that to cooperate with us. So what we're trying to do with the pain pleasure impulse is go beyond immediate gratification, right? Sacrifice immediate gratification for delayed gratification, for greater joy, fulfillment, and meaning. Now, what does this mean? Let's take something that we're all familiar with, right? Our health. So let me ask you this. Do you guys like eating cakes? Now, be honest. Do you like eating cookies? Right. Now, I love this audience now already because at least you're honest, right? Okay. So let's say that you, as a result of this workshop, you made a specific goal to become healthier, right? To eat nutritious food, which is vegetables, fruits, and protein. Do you think cakes and cookies are nutritious? Who here thinks cakes and cookies are nutritious? We'll probably be serving them over tea, right? But it's up to you whether you take it or not, right? They're not nutritious. So in order to actually achieve that goal of health, losing weight, you're going to have to, by the way, When you eat that cake or that cookie, do you feel pleasure? Yes. What's happening is you get a spurt of dopamine. It's a little small chemical release. It's a squirt. It's all it is a squirt. 5 seconds later, it's gone. That little pleasure is gone. And then it, the impulse comes back. Oh, I need another squirt of dopamine. So you eat another one. How many of you opened up a bag of chocolates and just, wharfed down the entire thing? We all have done that, right? I've done it myself. Because it's just one squirt of dopamine. It does not fill you. It does not satisfy. It does not satiate you, right? So this is what I mean. This is where we have to sacrifice some immediate pleasure, immediate gratification for something longer term. Imagine that you sacrifice those cakes and cookies for 10 weeks, right? And 10 weeks later, your health has improved. So at that 10-week mark, right, are you going to be regretful? Oh, I wish I had more cookies during the 10 weeks. Are you going to feel, oh God, this was a non-issue actually, right? I am so better off. And this can be applied to all 4 dimensions, by the way, right? Putting it another way, you can have whatever you should write this down. You can have whatever you want as long as it is not now. You can have whatever you want as long as it is not now. You can have whatever you want as long as it is not now. So this is training and managing these impulses, right? This is the domain of self-discipline, self-mastery, right? And this is how we grow and develop. So Anthony Robbins, he's a transformative coach. He says the secret to success is learning how to use the pain-pleasure principle instead of having pain and pleasure use you. So we have to manage pain and pleasure versus pain and pleasure using us, right? If you do that, you're in control of your life. If you don't, life controls you. Otherwise, we're like a puppet. We're like a puppet being controlled by this immediate pain pleasure thing, right? I think we've all experienced that kind of reality, right? And this is another way to put it, right? Immediate consequences, lots of pleasure, immediate gratification, longer term consequences, lots of pain, lots of uncomfortability. In the area of health, if you're eating non-nutritious food, you are susceptible to chronic diseases that we could have avoided if we actually adopted a more healthy lifestyle. And the same goes for relationships. The same goes for the spiritual moral dimension as well. On the other hand, if we sacrifice immediate pleasure, it may feel a little painful, it may feel a little uncomfortable, but we can adapt. Your mind and your body can adapt. Your psychology and your physiology can adapt. Write that down. That's a very important piece of information. Your mind, right? Your psychology and your body, your physiology can adapt. And you can train yourself. And you're on a whole new trajectory. And then the longer term consequence is more pride, deeper pleasure, real pleasure this time, right? Real gratification, real meaning, real fulfillment, right? That you are actually in control, okay? So delay the immediate pleasure and gratification for real long-term joy and fulfillment. So why do we struggle to manifest our character and grow? Because these 3 areas are out of alignment. They're out of alignment. A lot of people have a very weak relationship with their conscience, or even a non-existent relationship with our conscience. This is the most important part of our makeup, our conscience, right? And, it needs focus. We need to be on it every single day. The minute you wake up, you got to determine, I'm going to do better today. I'm going to be a better person today somehow, right? And another reason that we struggle is that we have out of control impulses. Our impulses are managing us rather than we managing our impulses, right? That's why people are not growing and developing, right? So these three need to be in alignment. So bring the three parts into alignment, right? So guided by the conscience and the result that it seeks, or our mind, our rational mind, our decision making, when it's aligned with our conscience, the standard bearer of truth, righteousness, goodness, and love, that actually now strengthens our conscience and our guidance system that actually will help us. It will guide us to manage these impulses. Your conscience will tell you, Justine, hey, I know now, look, I know this cookie and cake is like, you're going to get you're going to get a little bit of pleasure eating it, but hey, why don't you just pass up on it and get that inner child cooperating with you for something way more pleasurable a month from now, 6 months from now? Do you know what I mean? But if you're not strengthening your conscience, you don't have any, you, you don't have support. Your conscience, is kind of like an army, right? We need to build it up. You know what I mean? And now you have a support structure. You should write this down. Your conscience is a support structure that needs to be strengthened with intentionality day in and day out, right? And with that, that's the key to success. Then you don't need anyone else guiding you. In fact, if you do a good job in your schools and universities and regions, right, strengthening the conscience of these young people that we're listening to out there, right, wondering if they'll pass this exam or not, right? And they'll all be talking afterwards. How did you do? Did you get that question right? And it actually doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, right? Instead, it should be, how did I grow my character today? That's the more important question. Not that I get the these academic exams right? Kind of meaningless. Hey, we'll pause here. I just want a quick reaction from anybody in the audience based on what we said so far. Who'd like to? Is this making sense? If so, would love to hear a reaction from somebody. Okay, let's go. Microphone, Milton, somebody, Joshua.
Hello.
Okay. Good morning, colleagues. I feel I got something small just to summarize it all. Is that your consciousness, the spirit, the spiritual dimension we were talking about yesterday, your consciousness should be in alignment with your mind. It should align with your mind. The other universal principles of humanity and the what to do right and all that should be in line with your mind for you to be able to make decisions, and they are going to affect the decisions you take, which we are talking about as the impulses. That you'll be able to, when you align your spiritual dimension with the mind, what you're going to think and the decisions you're going to make are going to affect your the action you take, which is going to be, which in this case we are talking about the impulses, and you're going to be either you can forego certain pleasures or feel the pain or something, but in the end we are all looking at how best we can come up with good and real well intentions or actions from, but it comes from aligning your consciousness and the mind. Thank you.
Oh, that's perfect. Hey, big round. That was the perfect summary here. You're a good student. Wow, this is really, really good.
So there is another hand.
Oh, another hand. Yeah. Where's the other hand? Okay. Let's see if you can match that answer.
Yes, in a statement,
Yes.
I comparing conscience, mind, and impulse with body, spirit, and soul.
Yes.
these move together.
Yes.
Should there be a mistake, it will affect these two, same as this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. Yeah,
Thank
good.
you.
Very good. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So there's another, I'll just do this next section and we'll go for breakfast, okay? Okay, so the next one is managing primary, it's actually managing primary drives, right? So we talked about managing the pain pleasure impulses, right? Now we're going to talk about another set of impulses, but they're called primary drives. And they, you know, um, humans and animals have these drives actually, right? Animals do not have a conscience, but we have something in common with with the animals, the birds and the bees and the fish, right? They all have these drives. And the three primary, they come from the limbic brain, the oldest part of the brain. The three primary drives are the food drive, the procreation drive, which is an opportunity drive, and the danger drive, which is a survival drive. Actually, all of them ultimately are survival drives, right? Oh, I just got a text here. Sorry, I just got a text in right now. I have to announce something. The breakfast is going to be delayed for 90 minutes. What drive just kicked in? What drive just kicked in just now? I said the breakfast is delayed for 90 minutes. What drive just kicked in unconsciously? The food drive, right? This is real stuff, folks. I'm just joking. The breakfast is not delayed. I'm just messing with you, okay? All right. Just proving that these things are very strong. Once these drives kick in, they're almost impossible to resist. Also, you cannot think there. Once they move, you cannot think there, right? And they need to be managed. Just like the pain pleasure impulse, it can be managed. These primary drives can be managed. Animals, they don't have a conscience to manage these drives. They only have instinct. They're on automatic pilot, right? Like for example, um, if you're out on a hike and a hungry bear who hasn't eaten in 4 weeks comes face to face with you, right? Is he going to activate his conscience? Oh my God, this is a human being. They're a higher order species. There's no way I can eat that person. I have to move on to something I can eat. Do you think that's going to happen? No way, right? How about you're out there for 3 weeks in the wilderness, right? And you haven't had anything to eat, and another human being comes towards you. Are you going to eat him? No, because our conscience activates right this. You would be willing to die yourself, right? But that bear will not. He doesn't have a conscience, right? So this is how we are actually uniquely different from animals, right? We can manage these drives. Animals pretty much can't, okay? And I want to focus in on the danger drive, which is the most apt for the modern world. And this is a survival response. And there are three very common states of the danger drive. So when you face danger, right, you have three possible options. You can fight, you can run away from it, which is flight, and the third one is freeze. Freeze, right? So when you're out there in the Serengeti and some lion, you come face to face with a lion. Are you going to win if you're going to fight that lion? You're not. How about if you try to run away from that hungry lion? Are you going to succeed? Likely. No, they're going to get a spurt of adrenaline. I was actually in the Masai Mara, right? I saw what is it? What did I see? What's that animal? They chase gazelles. Help. What? Out in the out in the Masimara, there's a wild animal that chases gazelles. I forget the name of it. I'm just running blank. Huh? No, 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 no. It's like a tiger. Huh? What? Yeah, cheetah. That's right, a cheetah. I actually saw a cheetah take down a gazelle, right? And my God, I was like, I videotaped this. This gazelle was going like 100 miles an hour, right? And running all over, and the gazelle runs faster than the cheetah, right? So this cheetah, right? You can't believe the speed that this thing built up, and he took him down by the neck, and then he pulled him into the side of the brush, and this cheetah was absolutely knocked out. He was like, because he had the paw over the gazelle's neck. The gazelle was done for, right? But this poor cheetah, it took him 40 minutes to get his countenance back. The blood was coming down his cheeks. He couldn't do anything. He was totally exhausted, right? So this is this kind of like adrenaline move that these animals come. You cannot outrun a gazelle or a tiger or a bear if they come after you, right? So freeze is very helpful when you're out there in the wild, right? So I go hiking in Seattle, the Seattle area. There's something called the Cascade Mountains. When you go on, there's lots of bears there, black bears, and they have all these signs, right? They say, "Don't fight the bear, don't run from the bear." They say, "Don't move, freeze," because animals do not have good eyesight, but they have very, very good hearing, right? So if you don't move, you don't make a lot of noise, you freeze, they don't even, you could be right next to a bear and he might not see you, right? And you have a really good chance of getting out of there alive, right? That's what they tell you, right? Okay. However, this freeze response is not helping us in the modern world, right? So we human beings, we are constantly freezing, right? And what we're freezing over is fear. So we face a challenging situation, fear comes up. This is coming from our limbic brain, right? The oldest part of our brain, and it's fear of pain. It's not pain itself, it's fear of the perception of pain. Oh, this might be painful, right? It's kind of like advancing this campaign, right? Transforming education at Global South, or transforming your educational institution. You may be feeling a lot of fear. How will people react? How will people respond, right? And that's all it is. It's fear. But it's not real. 95% of it is not real. Fear should be your counselor, not your jailer, right? It should be your counselor, not your jailer. So as you are trying to transform your educational institutions, as you're trying to advance this campaign, you will experience fear. You're not imagining this. This is real stuff. But you cannot be imprisoned by this fear. This is holding us back from doing transformative things. It's real, right? So fear should be our counselor, right? Okay, so maybe we'll pause here. I promised you, Justine, you said 30 minutes. It's exactly 30 minutes. It's breakfast time, folks. Enjoy. Your physical vitality area is going to get satisfied right now, right? We're going to give the spiritual moral a break, and we're going to focus on the physical vitality for a little bit. Okay, Joshua.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Friends, we will professionally use a maximum of 20 minutes, maximum 25. Shall we bless our breakfast? And the order shall be Professor Lutalo, Dr. Tony, and Dr. Matadi will lead us first, and then we will follow. Thank you very much, Ambassador. A quick one. Behind there, please, Dr. Matadi, don't go. Humble request. Professor Lutalo, please don't go. Ambassador says no. Why? You deserve another quick one from us as the young people you have taken on. Bugema University, don't go. And they're also requesting that the town clerk, please don't go there. And then Dr. Tony, definitely, as the leader, please don't come. The rest of us, shall we? We thank you, Almighty Father, for this that we're about to partake. Bless it in your holy name. Amen. Shall we rise, please? And let's get to the table. Music in the background. The people I've mentioned, we are just moving straight to the top behind there. I hope Miriam and Connie have prepared that table behind there. Miriam, GPF, shall we have chairs behind there, please? Please, shall we rise? Shall we rise? Self-service. Miriam, shall we have chairs out there?
Turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you, none like you. To darkness to shine, out of ashes we rise. There's no one, none like you. Our God is great, our God is strong, God you are high. Our God is healer, powerful. Our God, our God. to the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one, none like you. Our God is greater, our God is stronger. Without you are healer, awesome and kind. God, God, our God is greater, our God is stronger. Without you are God is healer, awesome and kind. God, our God. But you were up all night, thinking about how your world's right, and you wonder if things will ever get better. You're acting it always raining on you when all you want is little thing news. Instead of sitting there stuck out in nowhere. Don't change. It's right. It's hard to see him. You that he's still trying. And do the best you can. Hold on and let him hold your hand. Go on, fall into the arms of Jesus. So lift your head on. It's right. Even when you I'll trust you, God, with where I am and believe that you will have your way. Just have your way. Just have your way. And my friends and my family have left me, and I feel so ashamed and so cold. Remind me to take broken things and turn them into beautiful. So I'll stop searching for the answers. I'll stop praying for an escape. And I'll trust you with where I am. If you have your way, just have your way. Just have your way. Yeah. Even if my dreams have died, and even if I don't survive, I'll still worship you with all my life, my life. Yeah. Oh, 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 stop searching for the answers. I'll stop trying for an escape. And I'll trust you, God, with where I'm alive. That you will have your way. Just have your way. Just have your way.
Milton. Okay, welcome back, everybody. So yesterday we talked about universal principles and values, conscience, character. It all sounds really one, like with our forces working within us as human beings. This morning,
2 months is too little. They let him go. They had no sudden healing.
anything you want.
To think that Providence would take a child from his mother while she prays is appalling. Who told us we'd be rescued? What has changed and why should we be saved from nightmares? We're asking why this happens to us who have died to live. It's unfair. This is what it means to be held, how it feels when the sacred is torn from life and you survive. This is what it is to be loved and to know that the promise was when everything fell. We need help. This hand is bitterness. We want to taste it. Let the hatred numb or sorrow. The wise hand opens slowly to release from the body and tomorrow. This is what it means to be held. How it feels when the sacred is torn. and you survive. This is what it is to be loved and to know that the promise was when we fell. We if hope is born of suffering, if this is only the beginning, can we not wait for what I'm watching for our Savior? This is what it is to know how it feels when the Savior comes and you survive to be loved and to know this one. It's what it means to be held.
Okay, guys, let's pause it here. We could go on for quite a while. It looks like there's lots of limiting beliefs going on. So let's hear from one of the teams, some example from your team of some limiting beliefs that your team came up with that are very real. Okay, Justine.
Thank you, Doctor. From my team. All right. Uh, Good morning once again. From my team, we came up with age. Sometimes we feel too old to do something. Culture, we have cultural limitations. Ladies don't do certain things. Other times we are busy, not enough time to do all that. Volume. All right. Another hindrance is lack of ability, feeling of inadequacy. Other times it is family or what we call others' opinions. There's also lack of self-awareness. We have economic hindrances and prejudice. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. These are very real things, but what we're trying to crystallize here is that we believe those. It's called a limiting belief, right? These prejudices that you mentioned, right, or whatever it may be, inadequacies. So you believe that, and that blocks you from going forward, right? And it's a lie. Okay, who else? Has something to say here to add to that? So some new stuff.
My name is Sarah. Oh, we have come up with these ideas and the beliefs. One is gender, skills and abilities, religion, the mere fact that you belong to a certain religious sect may lead to the fact that you cannot be employed in a certain job. Like right now, I'm working in a Muslim school, and yet I'm a Christian, and for that reason, I cannot head that school. Then tribe, it is the same thing, because I'm a Msoga, I cannot sometimes head some of the schools in Uganda. The other thing is that the level of education, right now, I would like to head a school, but because I don't have a master's degree, the qualifications cannot allow. Then the other thing is that I'm not married. When you're not married, especially in those Catholic schools, and you may be denied a job. Sometimes when you are single, being single, they will not be given certain responsibilities. They imagine you are not responsible enough. Then sometimes our background, you're coming from a very poor background. People will imagine you don't even have the sense to contribute in a certain gathering. Then lastly is age. Because of my age, they imagine I'm too young, therefore I cannot contribute constructively. Thank you so much.
Oh, this is very interesting. And this is very real world, right? This is very potent. And the thing is, madam, I want to engage with this lady for a minute. Give her the microphone, Richard. Give, so it seems these are kind of beliefs that looks like you believe, right? That stop you from moving forward. You don't come from the same economic background or from a rural area or whatever, right? Your religion. This is very interesting. Tribe. And really, what has that got to do with who you really are and what you're capable of doing? These are lies we tell ourselves, actually, right? Oh, I'm from this religion. I can't do that. I'm from this tribe. I grew up in the countryside. I did not grow up in, the middle of an urban environment. Or it could be the opposite, right? And if we believe these things, we're not going to be able to go forward. Do you want to say anything in response to that?
Sorry, doctor. I thought
No, I was just trying to engage you how much you believe these things.
As an individual, I don't believe those should limit me.
Yeah, they shouldn't limit you, right?
For example, my background, if I'm coming from a humble background, it doesn't mean that I don't have ideas.
Correct.
I can contribute constructively.
Correct.
And I'm sure that one should not be a limiting factor
Exactly.
in any way.
Exactly.
Similarly, religion should equally not limit me in any way.
Correct.
Even when I'm working in an organization that
Yeah.
has religious affiliation, that should not be ground enough to pull me down, because I am sure we are all equal. And now that the vision of this is that it should be regardless of tribe, religion, and all that, because we are all one person under
Yeah.
God.
Correct.
Therefore, that should not be a limiting factor to an achievement.
Yes. I completely agree. So you said something, these should not be limiting us. Yet, what's amazing is that they do limit us, right? It's real. It should not limit us, but oftentimes they do limit us. It's actually, we're the ones limiting ourselves, right? These are lies we tell ourselves, actually. And maybe two more, and we'll move on.
Yeah, thank you so much. A number of factors have been mentioned by the current speakers, and which we had also talked about them, but I want to hint on only three, which we still have here. One of the things that may limit us from achieving our goals is the past experience. Somebody might have done it, or you yourself might have done something and you fail at first. Then you see like it is cannot be achieved, it is hard, but we need just to give it time. Then another one is discouragement from friends. Friends may discourage us. Then also the inferiority complex. I feel like I'm inferior. This one is for a certain class of people. Those are the factors. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's really huge, right? I'm inferior or I'm not enough. This is very, very common, actually, right? Or I don't have the experience. All these are, while some of that might be true, they should not they should not limit us, right? If we tell ourselves the reason I can't move forward is because I don't have experience, right? Or I'm not enough, then you're frozen in place. You're frozen by fear, actually, right? And these limiting beliefs are lies we tell ourselves day in and day out, and we are frozen in place, not able to move forward with these big ideas. Okay.
Yeah,
And then here, this is the last one here. Yeah.
mine is just a comment. Some of the beliefs she was mentioning actually policies by some of the organizations. I don't know. Is there a difference between the belief and the policy? Because, for example, in some Catholic schools, for them it is a policy that for one to head their institution, you must be part of them.
Yes.
So where is the difference now there?
Well, okay. So hold on. So regarding, that's a good point, right? Policies, right? Who made the policies? Human beings, right? Do you think transformative people can make better policies? So just because there's a policy and it's not like transformative, that policy can be changed. Actually, that's what we're trying to do here in the education sector. This thing is full of policies that if you believe them, it means we might as well go home right now. We're here to challenge policies that are not helping us to move forward effectively. Do you know what I mean? Right? So these policies freeze us, you know what I mean? And limit us. But actually, if you come in with a more transformative idea, it can actually open people's minds up. You know what I mean? So this is called challenging the status quo. You should write this down. Challenging the status quo. We don't let the status quo limit us. We can challenge it and put better ideas out there, right? Okay, so finally, these ladies here are just chomping at the bit to tell us about limiting beliefs. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Stand up now. Stand up and speak to the audience. Yeah, there we go.
So actually the other group
And your name, your name.
I'm called Chimuri Vanessa. the group actually mentioned something that we had, but we wanted to give it a different light.
Go ahead.
That was the experience trauma, um, being one of the things that can become a limiting belief to you. In terms of either determining your esteem, either it's too high or too low, and then the complexes. Either you're too superior, too above something, or you're way below it. We also talked about dependence, interdependence on people. You seek approval from someone. In a marriage, for example, you depend on your partner to make a certain decision. And it could be cultural, it could be just because you submit to them, it could be because that's how you see things. You feel like if my husband doesn't approve of this, I'm not going to go through with it. You're limited in that way. We have also seen that knowledge, having too much or too little of knowledge, can limit you in making a decision, in making a choice and taking action. Because too much knowledge means you have too many options and then you're trying to choose the best option, and sometimes you'll never arrive at that point. And then too little, you see something but you feel like, will I man? It causes you to procrastinate, because every time you feel like I don't have enough of this, you know, maybe I'm supposed to pursue a certain career, but I feel like I can't start because I do not have the minimum requirements. Yet you actually have the potential. If you just go there and present yourself, you'll be given the opportunity, but you deny yourself that opportunity because you feel like I don't have this, I don't have the other, and the other. And then we've also seen that rigid mindset. You feel like because things have been done this way for so long and you've seen the results and you use to the results, it means that you can't change anything about it. We have seen this in our system, especially us who work in political system. You find that you have to depend on a certain person to do something. If they don't release funds, the activity is not done. But you can actually partner with someone and do the same activity and get the results you want without necessarily depending on the hierarchy of, oh, my boss said there's no money for this, there's no money for that. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much. This is very, very real world here. Okay, Richard, there's one lady, smiling lady there, that is eager to say something. We might as well let her speak, okay? And this lady, we have another lady up here. Looks like this is a hot topic, limiting beliefs.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Those are what has been shared, we equally shared. But I also want to put a point across that it seems like we want to make it look like it's only an individual responsibility. Yes, I'm aware of my limiting beliefs. And if I want to push them, then I have this other culture, this other society, that when it looks at me trying to push my, like change my limiting beliefs, they label me a difficult person. I'll give an example. If I believe that gender shouldn't limit me and I try to do things beyond that, then there's a group of people who will look at me and say, how can a woman do that? That's not for women. So I would really love that you also give us, how do we go about such in society? Thank you. I submit.
Thank you very much. And we'll just have one more lady here, and that will be it. Thank you very much. This is really insightful stuff. Right, here we go, Mike.
My limiting belief is thinking someone else will do it. Thank you.
Yes. So, exactly. So let me ask you this question, right? Who imposes these limiting beliefs? Is this the policy? Is this we're all working in educational institutions? Is it the system? Or is it primarily ourselves? Based on what you're learning here, who puts these limiting beliefs on us? Honestly speaking, almost all of them. Society? Huh? Your personal beliefs? It's ourselves, right? So how many people, based on what you're learning here, how many people feel it's the system that's limiting us? Primarily. How many people believe it's we are the ones who are limiting ourselves, really and truly? Yes, I have to go with the majority here. It is we who, you should write this down. It is we who limit ourselves the most. Yes? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Because I want to believe that the majority of the professional teachers that we have in here, if I use that as an example, they so much believe in most of the things that we are talking about. But